Hello, good morning. Welcome to Sunday Live Discussion Session with me, Antara. Happy Holi to everyone who is celebrating today. Um, and for all those who are not, thanks for joining in. Today we are going to discuss a fabulous, exceptional book titled Twice Born. It's been written by Sahar Gharachorlou, and Sahar Gharachorlou is a transformation and mindset coach. She is also a metaphysical therapist. And interestingly, she gave up her job, her corporate job of many years to pursue the call of her soul. So it's something that we relate to, isn't it? So let me ask you one question. Have you ever noticed or have you ever observed that you want to do something and how your thoughts actually um, guides your or influences the outcome of that job? For example, you want to do something and you are thinking very positive, thinking that you will be able to complete that job on time, and voila, you succeed, you thrive. On the other hand, for the same job, you are doubtful, you have your concerns, and you fail, you suffer, or you experience pain. So all I'm trying to say is that according to Sahar, and I would also like to agree, that each one of us has the ability to change the due course of our lives. Each one of us has the ability to choose a life that we want to live. In this book, Twice Born, Sahar has shared all her knowledge, all her wisdom, all her experiences that she has had for the past 14, 15 years of being a transformation and mindset coach and a metaphysical therapist. So if you are looking for something if you are looking for a tool that should help you realize your life's call, or you want to pursue spiritualism, then this is something that you need to read. And the good news is that author signed copies of Twice Born are available on our online bookstore. So do not wait, or do not waste much time, but do visit our online bookstore, www.mysecretbookshelf.co.in, and buy yourselves a copy, an exclusive copy of Sahar Gharachorlou's Twice Born. um, me, Till you do that, till you buy your copy, let me send Sahar a request to join this session, and hopefully we'll be able to discussion together. I really hope, fingers crossed, that everything goes well. And yes, yay, we have done that.
Yes, fine. Hi.
Welcome, Sahar. Good
Thank
morning.
you. Thank you for having me. Hi.
I'm so glad that we are doing this, and thanks for joining me today. You had your classes, you had your workshops in the morning, but then still um, you were able to take out time for this session. So I'm so glad, and thank you so much for joining me, Sahar.
Thank you. Pleasure is all mine. Thank you for having me.
Sir, I know that you were working, you had a corporate job for many years, almost for a decade, I suppose, and that too was at a very senior managerial role. But then you quit your job, and you started coaching, you started your therapies. So tell me how this shift has been so far for you, like from your corporate life to the life that you are having right now. How has the shift been?
The shift has been obviously great because not that corporate jobs are not good. They give you a
Mm-hmm.
lot of, they give you a platform. They build your self confidence. They help you to understand your strengths, your weaknesses, and what are you good at. But at the same time, you have the constraint of time, reporting to someone, targets, and it's like you're working hard for someone else's dream to be
Yes,
achieved, right?
right.
So
Yes, please.
Well, I guess one day each one of us becomes a little more wise and decides that let me achieve my own dreams. But I guess for that it is important to know what are your dreams, right? But in my case, it wasn't like that. I was just really fed up. I think the last blow was
Right.
that, for 8 months working and no holiday, not even on Republic Day or Independence Day, and I just couldn't do it anymore. So I just dropped it, and then the universe decided what I'll do. Nothing of what I do today was planned back then in 2010, but I guess the universe had some plans for me.
Yes, absolutely, sir. And I'm someone who believes in the universe, and I believe in soul's calling, and I believe in everything that your book or you have been saying. And I'm so glad that I have been able to connect with you. I think that is also another way of universe putting the right people together. Because somewhere I see a similarity between you and myself. Because, like as you mentioned, I was also working, and one fine day I was like, if I can do something, what I'm doing currently for someone else, then why not I do that same thing for myself? Maybe I'll be able to have more freedom and more flexibility. So that was the
Exactly.
same realization, and I think it takes, I think it's only few lucky people who understand what is the true calling of their soul or of their life
Mhm.
is. It's not possible for everyone to realize, but then
Mhm.
whoever does that, whoever has understood, I think that's a commendable thing, and for that, I think your book is perfect to understand um, how to how to start how to start
Mhm.
understanding the purpose of your life.
Yeah.
So, so Sahar, what I feel is that everything was going perfect for you, right? You quit your job, which was not, which made you fed up, and then you started coaching, you started interacting with people, maybe, and finally, after many years, what made you write a book, publish a book, like shift to something altogether different? Like everything was going good, right? Like
Yeah.
why write a book?
Actually, this is also something which wasn't planned at all. In 2013, a client of mine came all the way from Canada to get a session done, a past life regression session. And obviously, because she had come after such a, from such a distance, we
Hmm.
decided that we
Long.
can do as much as we can in the 2, 3 days she had with me. And in one
Hmm.
of the sessions, after a past life regression, what happens is the soul is taken to, the life between life stage where you speak to the masters, you ask why the suffering and any guidance. So I told her, I said, I can't promise that you would be able to meet the master, but let's try and maybe you can get some, advice. And then she reached that level and she started talking. Obviously, the voice was different. And there was this command and authority in the voice, and it had become heavier. It had become very peaceful. A very serene atmosphere had been created in the room. The energy had shifted. And then the messages went on for 17 pages because I note everything. Either I record them or I note them. With women, usually I just note them because they don't like their voice to be recorded. So, and so many times during the messages from her master, it kept on saying, you need to write a book. You have a clarity of thought, and this is the time to write a book. And my client is very much interested in fashion, and I know she won't be writing it. After 17 page, my hand was really paining. I asked her, I said, but you're not going to write a book. Why is your master saying this? She said, no, 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 no. These messages are for you. They're not for me.
Oh.
I was like, okay. And then obviously, English is my fourth language. I didn't know English till I was about 17 years of age when I came to India. And
Hmm.
so, writing in another language is kind of not so
Hmm.
easy because I almost have forgotten my own language, which is Persian. And then uh, I kept on staying with this thought, and then through different people, even my students said that, Sahar, when you speak something, we understand it, it sinks in. But when we read it or we hear other people, we don't have that clarity. So why don't you write a book so that you reach out to more people? And I would always brush it aside. I wasn't confident, to be very honest. But by 2018, it became so strong that I realized that if I don't do it, my whole life is going to come to a standstill. And interesting is, till then, I felt therapies and coaching and all the metaphysical work I'm doing is actually my calling. But when I wrote the book, I realized those were the things which is my gift, with which I'm supposed to serve. But my calling is actually writing, right? So this is how this book was born, basically. That's the whole story
Right.
behind it.
So, sir, if you allow me, I would like to ask you a few questions, personal questions. You shifted to Chandigarh, India, it's been 8 or 10 years. Before that,
No,
you were staying.
longer
Okay,
than that.
I'm sorry.
Much longer. It's almost 2.5 decades. I shifted
Oh, okay,
in
okay,
1996, but in between
okay.
I was, transferred because I was in corporate. So I lived in
Mhm.
UAE, Singapore, Canada, and this a
Okay,
few
okay,
places.
okay,
Because but my base would be Chandigarh. So every time I tried to run
okay.
away from India, which is 13 times, the destiny would bring me back till
Back.
finally I was like, I
Wow.
surrender. I've given up.
Yes,
No more trying.
this is my place.
Yeah,
This is the place I need to be.
yeah, I
Absolutely.
better. I
Absolutely.
better.
You know, sir, I myself had experience when you talk about master and guiding angels. Um, I don't know how to put it. I have not read about it. I have not interacted with anyone like you before. But from my since my childhood, I have had my share of experiences, which would actually make you realize, right? There's something with you, some incidents, or there
Yeah.
would be some, answers, or suddenly some answers would come to me at a very young age, and then now I realize that maybe my soul is an old soul, and that's why the answers are, came to me at such an early age. So, when I was growing up, I would always keep these incidents to myself, thinking that maybe I'm not a normal person, I'm experiencing something which is not regular, and I would not share it with anyone. And recently, a couple of years back, I was with a group of people, and I overheard another person sharing exact same things happening with them. And I was like, oh God, like that means I'm not crazy. I like, if she had the same experiences, then that means there is something behind all this. There has to be a logic, and that made me read more about past life,
Okay.
more about guiding angels, or the concept of angel therapy. And I think when I was reading about you, and when I saw, I was not aware what exactly the book is about. But when I read, and I was like, oh God, she is someone. And I think the universe has made you come. Like both of us meet, because I had to share this with someone, that I and believe that I'm not crazy, but that this is something. There are people
I
who,
believe you.
actually experience. So thank you so much, sir, for doing that, for making me believe that I am not crazy. I'm not crazy. Uh, so, you also mentioned about past life regression therapy. Would you like to share what is that, and is it actually possible to visit your past life? I had one friend, and he was like, I cannot say I whether I visited my past life, but I was constantly saying, and I was speaking. So he had no explanations for that. But I really want to know from you. You are the first hand, so tell me more about what it is and how can someone benefit from such therapy?
Sure. Thank you. So the science behind it, it's actually science. And the science behind it is metaphysics. And if we study the mind, which we don't have time for me to elaborate on that, but that's a
Hmm,
subject
hmm,
we teach, that I teach the functioning of the mind. So
hmm, hmm.
if we study the mind, we realize the mind has two parts, actually three parts: the conscious, the critical, and the subconscious mind. And the conscious mind, with which we talk, we reason, we logic, we go get married and things like that, is just a
That is another thing.
I know, because that's
Okay.
one place a lot of people go wrong, right? Including myself. So that is
Everything
all the
is a
job
part
of.
of experience and learning, right?
Yes, of course. So that is the conscious mind, and the subconscious mind is a part of you which you always have it, but you don't have an understanding of it. It's like your breath. You're always breathing, but you're not always aware of your breath. It's like for granted that it is there, and you live with it, and you know it is there, but only when you're reminded of it, you realize that you're breathing. Otherwise, we usually don't even remember we are breathing. So the subconscious mind is a part of our mind which is actually carrying all the memories, all the experiences, all the lessons of the past, but it is very dormant
Okay.
because the conscious mind is active, and we need that for the survival, which we call the ego.
Okay.
So when we do past life regression, we do nothing. We just slow down the brain to a level of functioning where we can have direct access to the subconscious mind. And when we tap into the subconscious mind, because of the questions that we have asked, let's say it's a relationship issue, financial issue, health issue, we go in a very focused, laser sharp manner. We go and tap into that memory which has the answers for the challenges we are facing, and usually those answers are nothing but the lessons that we were supposed to learn, which we have missed in the past.
Hmm,
Now,
hmm,
whether
hmm.
it is possible for everyone to see a past life, basically using the word seeing a past life is wrong. We should be saying experiencing a past life,
Hmm.
because whether you see, you feel, you know, or you hear during the session depends on which mental faculty of yours has been activated. Now, some people just feel or just have a
Hmm,
sense of knowing. Some
hmm,
people
hmm.
feel like a movie, and some people have a combination of all this because that's how their mental faculties are, or they have worked on their mental faculties. There are techniques that you work on your mental faculties to improve your intuition, to be able to become clairvoyant, clairaudience, and all those things, right? So now some people tell me, I don't know if it is a past life. See, the mind can, unfortunately, our mind is not capable of really creating anything new. It is only
Okay.
capable of tapping into something which it has already experienced, or a wisdom that which is available, and you match your frequency with that wisdom,
Okay.
and then you channel that wisdom. That's all we can do. There's nothing beyond that we can do, right? So
Okay.
even if we feel maybe I'm not seeing a past life, it's okay. The fact that you're becoming aware of that memory, it means you have experienced it, and at this moment it is going to help you. So we focus on the
Okay.
lesson. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. All right. So I have also sometimes I have experienced that I see some person and I feel like I have known that person for a very long time,
Mhm.
and I know that this is how that person is going to react. The small
Mhm.
minute details, right? Like how you put the hair behind your ear or how you use your hand gestures. So you feel like you have seen this person, or like, but then you are meeting the person for the first time and then you go into an oblivion, like what's going on. So what is that experience? What is
What
that
we call
about?
usually deja vu. It also happens when you enter a new place and you feel you have been here before, and the incidents keep
Hmm,
happening in the same exact way. You're aware of it, and you feel as if the
hmm,
same thing has already happened. So with
hmm,
people, with a lot of people, the fact that you are sitting here and talking, we are connected. It means
hmm,
there
hmm,
is a connection from the past, and somewhere we decided on so and so date for so and so reason, and maybe for the benefit of the audience, We are going to have this conversation. Maybe one person will benefit. Okay, so there's a contract. So when we meet people, the first vibe, whether you like the person or you hesitate, is telling you whether this is the road to travel on or you need to stop there. But unfortunately, this is intuition. But we don't listen to the intuition. But yes, we usually 99.99% of the times we meet people with whom we have a karmic connection, a past connection. Not necessarily karmic doesn't mean it's bad or good, but the some contract has to come to closure. Some lesson needs to come to an end. Some exchange needs to happen. So that's what we call karmic. So yeah, so sometimes you recognize, and most of the time you recognize people from the eyes. That's why they say the eyes are the windows to the soul, because they carry the impressions of the past forever.
Right, absolutely. This is so interesting. I think I can go on asking you so many questions about this, but then let's come back to the book. The book, you have mentioned that it carries case studies from real life incidents or real life cases. So, is there any such case study that is very close to you, or which might have touched you very deeply?
To be honest, all of them are so beautiful, and the way when they are happening, because I'm sitting there and I'm just listening and making notes, or sometimes it's a group case which happens. So everyone is listening and the wisdom is coming. So each one of them has touched a corner of my soul somewhere. But the one which I can forever remember, and I think that is was one of the most life changing, or I would say for me, my perception change towards life is the one which I have spoken about, the prayer. It was 3 years I was looking for the right answer to give to a colleague, that how are we supposed to pray in a way that the grace will walk into our life? Our heart would be beaming with grace, like we talk about grace, which is his love, or its love, or the universe's love. So I kept on looking, and I could never find out answers, because I thought, just talking to the universe is prayer. I couldn't. And then we had this case study, which was in a group actually. It was not really a past life regression, but because people don't understand the difference, so I usually talk about past life. But this was actually a family constellation and actually a soul macrocosm drama.
Okay.
So, when the energy came in and it started speaking, and we were like 12 people in a very tiny small hall, very little, and it was in corona time, so we were really close to each other. And suddenly there was pin drop silence. The energy had moved so beautifully that there is a different kind of fragrance in the room, and we felt as if everyone had thought that while we were doing the meditation and their eyes were closed, I have actually put on some incense stick, but I haven't. I was standing. And then it says the only prayer is to enjoy the creation, to be grateful for whatever I have created for you, and to continuously know and believe that every other person is here to contribute, to enjoy every single creation, to not judge, all the messages that came, and it came in such a powerful and I would say deep voice that there was no way we could mistake it. So that has really left a very everlasting impression on me, and every time I talk about it I have goosebumps.
Yes.
Beautiful, powerful
I'm almost on the I was almost on the verge of shedding teardrop, because it's really moving, and it's so profound. Like I can't share in. I don't have words to put it in. Tell me, Sahar. Like such experiences. Oh my God! Tell me, Sahar. How can one be more connected to their soul? Now, why I'm asking you this question is that we are very busy in our lives, right? In the morning, we rush to our job, we rush to our work, and then we come back and we have so little time for ourselves. We are always rushing. We are always um, chasing time. Tell me, how can one be close to in such scenarios in today's time?
So I am not the kind who will keep saying meditate, meditate, but I definitely would suggest that it is extremely important to have your me time. And me
Hmm.
time, not in the sense that you go out with friends and enjoy. That's not me time. That's your fun time.
Hmm.
It's very different from
Hmm.
your me time. But it is important to find something which will keep you, hi Sadhana, which will keep you with yourself, where you become and you have this opportunity, and it shouldn't be just for 5-10 minutes. If you're meditating, okay, 10 minutes is okay, because most people, especially if you're a new, a person new to meditation and things like that, you may find it difficult to stay with all the thoughts running, 50,000 thoughts a day. So it's not easy to, just be so centered. But a hobby, let's say painting, let's say if you go to the gym, then you don't go to gym to socialize. You just focus on your muscle and you use everything that will give you a time to yourself. But the best thing is if you can have, let's say as soon as you wake up or before going to bed, if you have some time, let's say half an hour, 40 minutes away from social media, away from
Hmm.
gadgets, away from everyone, and just sit with yourself, write down what are your thoughts, observe what are your thoughts. But this is what I feel, the me time is important. You can paint, you can
Hmm.
cook, you can bake, you can go for walks in the nature. Being in the nature connects you to your soul, because that's exactly what is your soul. The nature of the nature is the nature of your soul. You're made of the same thing,
Hmm.
right? So things like that helps. If you can add meditation and breathing exercises, it is nice, added advantage. But the me time is the most important part of the story.
Right. So maybe gradually one can start uh, like with maybe 10-15 minutes, and then gradually they can increase
I
the me time.
Anyone can take out 20 minutes. If
Okay,
you look
okay.
at your screen time, if you have an Apple
Mm-hmm.
phone, right,
Absolutely.
it shows your screen time. Usually people spend anything from 3 to 6, 7 hours. Just take away
Mm-hmm.
half an hour from that, yeah?
Half an hour from that.
It's
Yes, and
about
try to be
prioritizing
with
your
yourself.
well-being, after all.
That's really insightful. Sir, in the book, there is one part, or it's very relevant, that many people, after undergoing the past life regression
Mhm.
therapy and many other healing sessions, as advised by you, they have recovered from the painful incidents that they were going through in their life. So,
Mhm.
tell me, how does this I would say a past life regression therapy, but I'm sure there are many other therapies
Yeah.
that you might have used. Tell me, how does these therapies help to come out of a painful incident?
So the whole idea of being free from pain is, so see, pain is inevitable. You're going to have pain, whether physical, mental, whatever. The whole idea, but the issue and the challenge comes when the pain has become suffering. You know, if you have a small cut and after
Hmm.
2 days it will be, healed. But if
Hmm.
you keep scratching the cut, right? After 3 days, it can become a really major wound. So that's what
Hmm.
we do. We keep scratching our hurts. Even if no one else will remind us, we have this tendency of victimizing ourselves. And then we want to keep scratching the hurt and the pain
Hmm.
and make it a big wound. And now it's a wound. Now you can do nothing. You have to go to a doctor if you have a, infectious wound, right? You can't do anything about it. So
Hmm.
when we do these therapies, we go back to the time this hurt initially was created, whatever it is. And most of the time, it is our perception which causes the suffering. It can be a
Hmm.
painful incident, but my perception of that painful incident and my need to continuously go revisit that bad memory without
Hmm.
understanding it, why it happened, makes it that wound. And when in therapy we go, then they see or feel or know, they realize, basically it's a realization or an awareness that this is why this happened, and I was supposed to learn this. And if I have seen the whole scenario, instead of, let's say, going to the left and watching from left, left, I would have gone to the right and watched it, the angle would have changed. It's like, if I'm sitting and talking to you like this, right? So, I'm talking. But if someone is sitting behind my laptop and cannot see me or only hear my voice, will think, there's some boot in the house. Some ghost is there because can't see me. So it's all a matter of perception. Right? So we just show them and we help them to release that memory. Just retain the lesson and the gift of it. So once that happens and they realize it was them only who created all this mess, then there's no one else to blame, because the pain becomes suffering as long as you feel others caused me the pain. The moment you realize it was you yourself, you don't want to talk about it. You go, right?
Absolutely.
So then the healing takes place.
I have realized, I spend a lot of time with myself, and I have learned that, everything, all the experiences, all the emotions are because of myself. Why she has not called me, why he has not texted me, it's just there, okay, it's period. But then my thoughts are that, oh, he might have misunderstood, or he might be angry with me, and that is why he might not be even thinking about all these things. But then in my mind, all these uh, thoughts are going on that, oh, she might be angry, he might be angry, he did not like me, or whatever is going on. So it's ultimately, it's me that is creating the mess, that, as you mentioned. And there are also sometimes when there is this guilt. How come I did that? How come I let myself get hurt? I think that sense of guilt is also there. And sometimes I think there are these issues of, as we call, trust issues, not trusting anyone else, with your life.
So comes from lack of faith.
So does these therapies also help people who have this kind of issues, who have trust issues, or who have?
Yes.
It does?
It helps. And someone, I think Kamal Preet has asked that, can we heal something which has happened due to our past karma? Yes, we can. That is the aim of, not all therapies, certain therapies deal with the past karma and they help you heal. Or if not help you heal, they give you the solution how to heal it. Let's say you need to do more service, you need to share your wisdom, you need to spend time with so and so, you need to do forgiveness or gratitude. There would be some tools like that which you have to practice. And as now coming back to what you were saying, all this can be healed, but unfortunately people think that therapists have a magic wand and they'll do this and everything is okay. No,
right.
you have to
from
take charge.
within, right?
Yes, you have to take charge. You now know the reason. Then you should not repeat it. Like in our book reading club, we have a book reading club, and there was a lady said that, I become aware of my jealousy and then I drop it. No, you're not supposed to drop it. You need to realize, why are you jealous? What in the other person make you feel this way, and then develop that habit. If you like it so much, then develop it. Instead of dropping it, then nothing is going to change. You would be jealous of the next and the next and the next, and the emotion will become stronger, right? So we have to also consciously work with the therapist. It's not only the therapist will show us the past and we are healed. No, we have to make sure we won't repeat those mistakes. I won't call it mistakes, but we won't repeat those patterns. We need to break the pattern. Nothing is really a mistake, actually.
So it's a gradual process that one needs to work on with the therapist.
Yes, it's a never-ending process.
Okay, so I get that. There are a few comments and few questions that we have received, sir. Let me read one of them out. This is Night Reader writes, how were you able to get the courage to leave the security of your fixed salary job?
I am really a bad person to ask this question because I am rebellious by nature. I love adventure and I like to try new things. But the belief that has caused me to take all actions, whether the consequences were good and pleasant, or the consequences were lessons I had to learn, came from one belief. I am going to do it. I am going to make it happen. I don't care how, but because I am doing it, it has to happen. So
Happen.
I never have this thing about failure. I don't understand failure. I don't understand fear. What I understand is pull up your pants, do it. If it goes wrong, do it again. You will get it right. So that was the belief behind whatever I've done in life.
Wow. So to understand more what Sahar is trying to say, I think you guys need to purchase one of her books, Twice Born. I'll do a sales pitch here, Twice Born. It's also available on our online bookstore, so do visit us. The link is given on our IT bio. And there is one more question. Before that, there was Nishant who said explanation by Sahar ma'am is great. There is Chetna Dua who is asking, what is the difference between gift and calling?
Gift is something you're good at, but not necessarily enjoy doing it. So that is your gift. You have been given that because perhaps you are the right person for that job at that point of time, and you can deliver what the divine expression wants you to deliver. So that's the gift, but it's not necessarily you enjoy doing it. So let's say, Chetna, you know what I mean. She's done courses with me, so you know sometimes when people don't come on time to the workshop. Okay, so I don't enjoy that, but it's my gift. I'm patient with it. And then calling is something that happens to you when you have no idea you can make this happen, but it happens to you because you had the courage to, you know, move from the routine, move from what society told you, and you had the courage to put yourself out in the open for criticism or appreciation, and you didn't think about the result. And when in the process of it taking place, you realize there is a force behind you which is pushing you to do this. So I would say writing is my calling, and coaching and therapy is my gift because I enjoy writing. I do enjoy my therapies, but you know, for me it was then 8,000 cases or about 700 workshops. Now it is kind of boring. It doesn't excite me anymore. But there are people who need it, and then you have to
Need
offer
it,
it.
right?
You know how to do it,
Absolutely.
right? So
Yes,
that's
yes.
it.
So there is Nishant again, and he is saying explanation. He's saying language is very much simple and understandable. Night Reader writes, "What a beautiful journey." Heads off to her, Nishant. Read with Madhu. Lovely hearing about your journey. And
Thank you.
Nishant again, she's beautiful internally and externally. That's one hell of a fan you
Thank you.
have. And Sadhna saying hi. I love this advice. And then there's Kamalpreet shared a question which you have already answered.
Yeah.
Night Reader writes is saying your explanation was very articulate. Thanks for sharing.
Thank
Then
you.
she's asking, can depression be healed?
Yes, everything can be healed. It just depends on two things. One is your genuine desire to take responsibility of your life and want to heal. And especially in case of depression, a genuine desire to want to serve. If you have that, then a therapist can help you heal.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So I think it's something I always provide analogies. So it's like people would come and say, Antara, join gym, reduce weight. But unless and until it comes from within, it's
Yeah.
not going to help me, right? I am not going to join a gym. Even if I do join a gym, I'm not going to lose weight because it's not coming from within. So I think
Yeah.
every healing comes, the first willingness needs to come from within, then only people will be able to help you out. So just
It
ask for
always needs
help.
to be the time. Yeah. Also, it is supposed to be the time. You know, a lot of people, I
Mm-hmm.
don't know how many of my already, you know, people who have worked with me are here, but a lot of people come to me and I sometimes make them wait for a year. Not that, you know, for 1 year my calendar is full. Not that full. Sometimes, yes, because calendar is full, but sometimes I tell them that you're not ready. Even if I work with you at this moment, it's not going to be as fruitful as it would be when you would be ready. And I
Right,
often go
right.
back to them and tell them, now you're ready, we can start. But some people have a problem with that. But I feel that there's no point wasting time, energy, effort, money,
Absolutely, absolutely.
both of
Right,
us,
right.
and then the person is not healing. So what this is what I call divine timing. It's very important if the person is genuinely ready to heal.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. And then one more thing that I have noticed, especially in the case of women,
Mm-hmm.
maybe because they think that if I call out for help, ask for help, I'll be labeled as a weak person. So generally, women tends to keep depression or the requirement for help, for sorting out for help to themselves, because they do not want to get labeled as a weak person. So I think I have seen that many women tend to keep depression or the hurting to themselves. But then I have realized over the time, like over this many period of years that I've lived, that there's no shame in asking for help. If you need help, call out and reach out for help. It's available. Just call, just reach out for help.
Yeah, so I feel again it comes to prioritizing yourself. If you feel you're
Okay.
important enough and you're valuable and precious enough to be attended to, then no
Hmm,
one's
hmm,
belief of you would matter. You know,
hmm,
you would want to reach out for help because you are important. And to be honest, it doesn't matter it's a man or a woman. You are the center of your universe. And if you are unhealthy, you can only decide whether you deserve to be healthy again or not.
hmm,
And let
hmm,
whoever say something. But also, I would suggest, and it is my request to people,
hmm.
that please
Okay.
don't judge each other. Stop judging each other.
Hmm,
No
hmm,
one is weak. No one is helpless, and no one is, in a state that deserves any kind of, ridicule, because we all have been there. We all can land up there.
hmm,
Life is uncertain, and
hmm,
instead of waiting and trying to take out our issues at people and talk about people, let's accept, like mental health, let's talk about it.
right,
Physical
right.
health, let's talk about it.
Hmm,
Relationship issues, let's talk about it. Instead of family falling apart, isn't it better to talk
hmm.
about it 10 years earlier and save the children, yourself,
Right,
your spouse,
right.
everyone who's involved, right? So I really
Absolutely.
feel as a society, because we judge people so much, we don't give people the permission to be honest, at least with themselves. Forget about the rest
Hmm,
of the world. So
hmm,
I
hmm,
think one should just drop all these old patterns of the society and prioritize yourself, receive help, ask for
hmm.
help, and move on. That's how it should be.
Right. Thanks. There's Sadhna again, and she's saying so many layers to clear or clean. Uh, there, there's someone who's saying amazing. Then Chetna Dua is saying thank you, Sahar.
Welcome.
And Rise and Shine Gitu. Sahar, your energy is very calm. Then there is
Mhm.
Smriti S. Hey, Sahar, we'll look up the prayer again. Um, Women are so outwardly oriented that they barely are aware of themselves. That is Smriti S. So
I would kind of agree with her. It's time we change towards ourselves now.
ourselves, not outwards.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. So I think this discussion is going really interesting, and I'm so
Thank
like
you.
into it, and there's so many things that is coming to my mind. I'm sure going to read and dwell more after the session is over. Um, so yes, Sahar, do you want to read anything from your book? Would you like to share a few lines?
Yeah, I don't mind. Yeah, I'm going to read page 217 if anyone has the book. If you don't
One
have the
seven.
book, whenever you have the book, please read this. Yeah. So it's 217, last paragraph. It is about, because a lot of people think that, you meditate for 6 months and your life will change. You go do 2 therapies and the whole life is supposed to change. No, my dear, you are this vastness of the entire universe within your body. If you understand the depth of your soul and the vastness of your being, you realize self-work is going to be a continuous work. So I'm going to read about that. Last paragraph 217. The self-work can't be just a part of your life, but the only way of life. Reading books, attending workshops, talks, and hopping retreats are all great, but none, not even sleeping at the feet of your guru, is of any use unless you apply what you have gathered in your life, and not only sometimes, but always. You should breathe, eat, walk, talk, and sleep what you have learned. So this is about people who do a lot of spiritual shopping, but at the end of the day, they are in the same place and they keep coming and saying, I did this and I did that and nothing has changed. And then this para was for them. And then I'm going to read one more. This is of chapter 8 of book 4. And the chapter name is Acknowledge Yourself. Acknowledge yourself for who you are. Acknowledge your soul, your mind, your beautiful body. Pat yourself on the back. You have come a long way. You have been doing amazingly well, no matter where you are. You have survived all the obstacles, all the pain and sorrow, all the heartbreaks and soul-tearing loneliness. You have traveled 1,000,000 miles and you are here at this very moment. Look at you. Your courage and resilience are commendable. You have made it so far and you must acknowledge that. And then it goes on about, basically it's important, we are always looking forward. We are looking that I am lesser than this and I haven't achieved that much, and there is this problem in my life and that problem in my life, and it's a lot of I, me, but in a victimized way. However, it is important to acknowledge where you have come. And my dear, at this moment, you are absolutely the best version of you forever. You are continuously evolving because that's the way of the universe. So wherever you are the best you could ever be. And you need to acknowledge and be grateful for it, because you are the expression of the creator. And if you don't acknowledge that, you are denying the creator in you. So that chapter is about that.
This is absolutely something that I needed to hear today, and it makes me feel relaxed after these lines, actually, because we have this inner thing going on, right? Like where we tend to constantly compare ourselves with others. Yes. And I think thank you so much, sir, for reading these lines out. Here, I would like to take a break, and I would like to welcome everyone, all of Sahar's friends and my friends who are watching us and listening to us now. We are talking about Sahar's Twice Born. It is available in Amazon, and also limited editions are available in our online bookstore. So visit us at www.mysecretbookshelf.co.in and grab yourselves a copy of her book if you have not purchased it. If you have any questions for Sahar, do share in the comments. I'll read them out. There was someone who said, hi Sahar ma'am, you are always apt. That was Shweta Sachdeva. There is Rise and Shine Gitu saying beautiful. I think that after you have read those lines. Thank you for joining in, and we'll resume our session, and I hope we still have some time left. Yes, 10 minutes to go, sir. Sir, I want to know more about your workshops. You conduct several workshops. So tell me, who can attend your workshops, and if someone is interested, how one can enroll. Are these online workshops or in-person workshops?
I have both type of workshops, both online and in person. We also have a book club. So
Okay.
some people may not know me. It's very important to connect to the person who conduct the workshops. Maybe you can join the book club, and then if you like what we do, then you can also do the workshops. So these workshops are two types of workshops. Basically, some part of the workshops are about self-development and more of practical kind of work where you train your mind training, mind. I won't say mind control, but mind awareness, functioning of your brain to enhance your intuition and all those things. So these are the usually 2 days workshops, and then we also have experiential therapy workshops where you actually come and experience a therapy, let's say inner child, past life, soul macrocosm, family constellation, in a group with other people, and you can share your experiences. These kind of workshops actually help build a community, because you realize there is a breed of people who don't judge you for nothing. Even if you have done murder and you walk into a workshop, everyone is like, okay, what happened, let's see, let's find a solution for you now, right? So this helps you build a community and feel more at home. And I have online workshops, and in both these kind of workshops, I not only do the workshop for people to experience, but also train trainers. So if you want to be a law of attraction trainer and you want this to be your business or your profession or your side business, just want to teach and earn a little more, you can become a trainer of either life, either law of attraction, or become a therapist, like become a past life regressionist, inner child therapist. I also have a 2-year course, which is, it trains you from the very initial stage of becoming a energy worker, which is from healing and understanding chakras and certain tools, till you actually become someone who can handle any kind of case, because I do have students of mine who are not therapists, but sometimes more complicated cases comes to me. So this 2 years has 7 modules, and you have to complete each module at certain interval, practice those things, and then you become a therapist, and you can be on your own and you can just start it. And then I also train the trainers, as I said. I also would be coming up with a program. I also do book coaching. So for new writers who want to write and then get published, right, and become an author, the difference between a writer and author. So I also do book coaching. I help them to give a structure to the book, help them with the story, some ideas, how does a book come, and then help them get into an editor, publisher, whatever. So that is called that is the book coaching part I do. And also, of course, I do life coaching. So I have 1-year programs, groups of very small groups of let's say 4 to 8 people, weekly sessions. And I have got really amazing feedbacks, which I haven't yet posted. They're in form of videos, where they feel that it's not only life-changing, but soul-changing for them. So that was amazing. So I do these kind of programs, usually through website or Facebook or Instagram. People can come to know about the programs that I do.
Okay, all right. So, sir, what I'm going to do is I'm going to fetch these informations of your next event or your next workshop, and I'm going to share them on our that's conch shell blowing. So that's my mother who she's doing her daily ritual.
That's fine.
So,
that's fine.
So I'm going to share those information on our IG, on our Instagram storyboard. So if someone is looking for this information, they can just visit us, and they'll get all the information at at single place. So I'll do that. And quickly moving on to our next question, I really want to know, Sahar, you do such wonderful things, you help people, but then how does Sahar unwind at the end of the day?
So to be honest, one of the ways of unwinding is that I go into absolute silence, where I don't have any outside contact, no talking, no phones, no media, no working, no nothing. But otherwise, for me, having deep conversations with some beautiful people, that helps me unwind. And I enjoy working out. So my gym, or going for a run, or going for a walk in the nature, is what I like. But because I am a person who likes variety, I can get bored very easily. When you have your mind running or your soul running here and there all the time. So you need more stuff. So I love cooking. I unwind by cooking and painting, and I read. I also read quite a bit. So I have a lot of
Things going on.
yeah, and of course the me
Unwind.
time, that is the most important. And that usually happens either when I'm painting or I'm walking or I'm even watering my plants. That's really my me time. I do
Hmm.
spend at least 1 to 2 hours a day with myself.
That's really wonderful. Sir, what are you currently reading? You mentioned that you read a lot. Would you like to share your current read?
Yeah, so
Uh,
we just finished. I just finished reading. So I'm reading 2 books at a time. We just finished the Dalai Lama's Cat. It was a very
okay,
interesting,
okay.
easy read.
Yes, yes,
And
yes.
now we have chosen the Siddharth by Hermann Hesse for our book club. So I'm reading that.
Okay,
And at the
okay.
same time, I'm reading. I don't know if you're aware of. I'm sure you're aware of Rumi, but Rumi
Yes.
had a teacher who was
Okay,
Shams of Tabriz,
okay,
right? So I'm
okay,
reading Diwan Shams, which is in Persian
okay,
though. It's a Persian
okay.
poetry. Yeah.
All right, all right. Great. So I think let's wrap up our session. But
Sure.
then before I say goodbye to you, would you like to share a sneak peek from your next book or your upcoming book that you're writing? Would you like to share something with us?
Yeah, sure. Actually, I'm writing 2 books at the same time, and the reason
Okay.
is that one is divine timing, and the other seems to be what all the readers of my first book are saying. Please write about certain things. So there are these questions which are coming. So one of them is a book which is of more of case studies in lines with the book of one of my teachers. I was trained by Dr. Brian Weiss. So he has
Okay.
those books of past life regression. So something like
Yes,
that.
yes, yes.
Yeah. And the
I have
second book
read
is
many of
unlock.
his
Yeah, you
work.
read it. Yeah.
Mhm.
So, but the other book, which is, I think, the calling, is the Unlaw of Attraction. Because as a trainer and a trainer's trainer, I realized that there's a lot of lies and there's a lot of misguidance in the
Mm,
literature or videos that we hear, and people are doing all those things which they have advised, but they're not understanding why the result is not coming. So I thought that
mm,
because I have studied it scientifically, I have been teaching the material, and I also have worked with it spiritually, which is the part most people
mm,
ignore.
mm,
So maybe I should
mm,
put these things together and give it in a way that people, being idealistic and thinking everything is going to be 100% fine if I always think positive, and being realistic and knowing what you need to change in order to achieve what you want are two different things. So I always
absolutely.
write from point of being realistic, because that's eventually what will pay off. Rest, it's good to be optimistic, it's good to feel you should always be positive, but when it won't work, then it's very disappointing. So I want to bridge that gap in that book.
Mm, mm. Wonderful. And by when can we expect your one of your books to get
I
released?
am
And
slow, but
okay,
hopefully July at least one of them should be,
okay, okay.
yeah,
No
somewhere
problem.
out.
So, so time flies like nothing. Like in the blink of your eye, it will be July, I'm sure, and we'll have Sahar's next book with us. So thank you,
Hopefully.
Sahar, for joining us today. And I wish all the very best with all your sessions, workshops, and all these good works that you are doing. My best wishes for you and your books. And thank you for joining me today. And I
Thank you,
hope
Angela.
we do another session really soon. We have almost covered 1 hour, and it didn't. We didn't even realize. I didn't even realize that it's been 1 hour. Unfortunately, Insta Live only permits 60 minutes, and
One.
then it, yeah, and it
Yeah.
sessions
Yeah.
out. So
Yeah.
thanks, Sahar, for joining me.
Thank
Have
you,
a
Sarah. It was
wonderful.
an honor and a pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you
Thank you.
so much. Bye. Have a wonderful Sunday. Bye.
You too, and to all the audience. Thank you.
So, people, that was Sahar, the author of Twice Born, Sahar Gharachorlou, and her copies are available. The book is available on our online bookstore. So do visit us, www.mysecretbookshelf.co.in, and get yourselves a copy of this book right now if you have not purchased. Um, Next Sunday, I'll be here with another guest. And till then, thank you. Have a lovely weekend ahead. Bye.